What's up guys, it's Dave Bristow here from Extreme Paint Studio. Today we are going to do freehand clouds and lightning. One of the subscriber actually come through and said, look, I love the Viking trike that you done, and in the background was a load of clouds and lightning, crows and stuff like that, and he said I'd really love to be able to do that. So I thought I'd show this 10-minute tutorial of exactly how to do it. There's no shields or anything like that required for this. This is all freehand work, so it's good fun. We've only used 3 colors, so we've used phthalo turquoise, phthalo blue and transparent white. That is it. Obviously we're working on a black base to begin with, but you can watch this build. Stay to the end when I'm adding the phthalo blue and turquoise, because we go back in with the highlights again afterwards. So it's right at the end that you need to see how we put those highlights in, and also there's a little trick there for beginners. So enjoy. I'll get on and do the next tutorial. There's lots more coming through. We're going to try all different things, and I've got to do the white side of the shield as well, which I'm going to look at different textures and stuff. So lots more coming through. Have a go at this one and let me know how you get on. Hey guys, so we're going to do a little bit of clouds, lightning, and maybe have it hovering over some sea or something like that. It's going to come straight off the top of my head, so let's see how it turns out, but hopefully it will give you an indication of how I do clouds. The way that I do clouds is a bit like the battered metal, really. I'm getting a bit of paint before I actually pull the trigger back from my airbrush. It's not the cleanest airbrush in the world. So when you get paint by just pushing the button down, that means your needle is not pushed forward far enough. So it could mean that I've got a little bit of a blockage in there or something. So I'm just going to push the needle forward, undo the needle chucking nut, and just push my needle forward as far as it will go, and then put it back. I'll get rid of the paint that I've now created at the end, blow that off, and there's a little bit of paint. It means I've got a bit of debris in my nozzle, but it's now gone. So let's try and pull back. Yeah, look, it still wants to, yeah, it needs a good clean. But anyway, that shouldn't stop me, shouldn't stop anyone really. You know, airbrushes are troublesome. All I'm going to do is the same as the battered metal technique, which is kind of wiggle. But what I want to do is give my clouds a sense of direction. And there'll be brighter areas obviously where the lightning's coming through. So I'm just going to move and get an idea of how my clouds want to go. So obviously going to be brighter at the bottom of the cloud. It's just a mist at the moment, and I'm just wiggling like that. Oh, I've just dropped a load of paint. Right, let's start again. So all I'm doing is kind of moving up and down, sort of a little bit of a wiggle like that as I go, which is actually creating the soft look to my clouds. And you'll notice they're all going in a direction. I want it to look like the wind's almost taking them. So as I come out, I kind of push the trigger shut, so I get that kind of dagger stroke coming out, or that fade. So as I get to the end of my cloud, I push the trigger inwards to shut the trigger off. And we want to fill the sky up really as much as we can. And then what we'll do is we'll move in, we'll start with a soft, and then we'll move in with, and get tighter and tighter. So we put more detail in our clouds and brighten up areas. And you can even save some of the dark areas. Let's see if I can give you an example. So what I'll try and do is save this area of the clouds, and I'll make that a dark cloud. So I won't go into that area there. Okay, so all I'm going to do is catch the edge of that cloud. Still want it kind of soft, but, and then we'll just creep in. That's as if the light is almost coming and hitting that cloud, and this is in the front, so everything else behind is bright, but this one is dark. So we're just going to push that and fade it out, and then bring it back again, and then push it to that side. But some of it will be exposed to light. So it's now putting this cloud in front of all these. So we'll just push into that cloud there. And then we'll go behind it again. And we've got to chuck a bit of lightning up there because that's what's causing the light on here. So I'm just going to smooth out that top of that cloud. I don't like the shape of it, I'm not feeling the shape, so just going to move it around a bit. Yeah, I like that bit where it comes down there. It's almost going off. You can see how this is coming forward now, and then we've got the misted in the background. Remember, this is all coming off the top of my head, so doesn't always go to plan. Sometimes you have to go back in with a bit of black again to black out areas, and then, you know, go again. But I want to find a horizon line, so let's put our horizon line sort of here. Right, that's our C line. Okay, so we're just going straight across. From a distance perspective, I'm about 4 inches away when I'm doing the misting, but when I go to do the more detailed clouds, I probably move about 2 inches away. I guess the camera's not going to pick up, you know, the distance that I'm at. So we'll keep these clouds going. I like the darkness here because we want our lightning to really show up. So I'm just going to keep the clouds in the background, kind of misted. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like the way that's coming in. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. And then we'll kind of mist off. We've got a little bit of a splatter there, but doesn't matter. I'm just going to mist off this area. I want to keep it fairly dark, but I think we're not going to go with just black and white on this. I think I'm going to go with some blue in it as well. Use my favourite colour, which is, or one of my favourite colours, phthalo blue or phthalo turquoise. Okay, let's get another one coming in at the top there. Just to fill it up. And I use this in so many backgrounds, so many backgrounds. You know, if I'm doing Greek stuff, you know, like Greek tattooed style, I'll have these clouds in the background with lightning. If I'm doing Vikings, definitely I'll have, you know, clouds and lightning and crows and stuff like that. So this is such a handy tool to have in your toolbox when you come to do projects. So it's just simple, just give it a little wiggle. Give it a little wiggle and it will really start to come alive. And you can make it your own, just play about. Oh, I like that. It looks like it's layered now. Really looks like it's layered. And once we get the lightning in, we can make the edges of the clouds really pop. So I'm going to chuck a real brightness line across our waterline. Right the way across. It's transparent white, so it's going to take a couple of passes. But I really want that brightness in the background. And you want to kind of keep this as straight as you can. Okay. And then all we'll do is we'll bring it to a V. So it's almost like the moonlight is lighting the sea. So we'll just come in with a little bit there, a little bit here. Just keep it nice and tight. I'm about an inch away. And just cross them over. Look how thin those lines are. And I'm not using an expensive airbrush, guys, right? I'm not using a Micron, I'm not using a Harder and Steinbeck. This is a cheap airbrush. And it doesn't really matter what airbrush you use. It's your trigger action that matters. Okay? And your control of the paint flow. You know, it's a 0.3 setup, so it's not like 0.18 or 0.15. You know, I'm going to do a review on the airbrushes I use because, you know, I have got about 21 airbrushes, but my go-to is about £45. And I'll give you the reasoning when I do my review on that. But you can see, look, we're just doing little wiggles. You can make some amazing scenes just by, and then we'll just make it wider at the top, just like the lightning's catching the sea. It's a great little exercise, this one. And I'll show you some landscapes that I've painted, both in my classroom lessons and my online academies, and you can see the level of detail that we go to in our landscapes. So you know, this is very basic, very beginner, but we can go to a real high level of realism in our landscapes. You know, I've got snow mountain scenes and sunsets and stuff like that. So we'll just push this out now. We're just gonna, and you can make, obviously I'm going fairly straight with my lines, but if you want, you know, thicker waves and stuff like that, all you've got to do is pick up on an area, look, and then lift it, bring it back down again. Look at the difference there in that wave just coming in, and then you do one above it, you know. So as it gets closer, look, just give it a little bit of a lift, a little bit of a V, and you've changed the whole look. Okay, now we've got a rougher sea at the front. Okay, let's go back to our clouds, and what we'll start to do is get in nice and tight and just pick on a couple that are reflecting the lightning bolt. So we're just pushing in, just gone in a little bit tighter. Look at that, just adds that brightness. Let's give this a little bit of a, this is great when you're doing freehand work. It's, you know, it's what's up in your head and you just go with the flow. I love doing just freehand work. There we go. Let's just soften that a little bit at the edge. Right, and then we'll get in nice and tight with a line there, as if it's catching the top of that cloud. Okay, and then we'll hit where the lightning is coming from. So we've got to get under that cloud and then push up, and then mist above it. It wants to be really bright in that area, really bright. We'll do a little hit on that one as well. So this is catching the bottom of that. Remember, always drag off. You know, like do your dagger stroke, drag off. Oh, we definitely got some clouds and sea going on now. Okay, so lightning, right? You can see how thin we get these lines with the airbrush, okay? And that means my needle is almost touching the surface. I'm controlling the paint, okay? There's two ways you can do this. We can do it as, you know, after practice, you can handle the airbrush and you've got familiar with the airbrush and you can do those really thin lines. Or we can do it with a paintbrush to make life easier for the beginner out there. We still got to use the airbrush to do the haze around the lightning, but we can use a paintbrush to get the actual bolt of lightning. But I'm going to use the airbrush, so I'm going to start, make sure my paint is flowing really well, get to my real bright point of my lightning, and then just literally come down, out, wiggle it a little, out, down. We want to go right the way, oh, as if it's hitting the sea. Okay, that's it. And then all we do is we come off and then we go even further like that. We give it a little bit of a and then maybe a little one at the end. Let's kick off of here as well, and then a little one there. Just make sure your airbrush is, you know, really fine and working fine, and then just run the line again. Thicker at the top, because I'm using transparent, it takes a little while to build up that opaqueness going behind the clouds. I'm going to bring it out in front of the clouds. It's just a quick example of what you can do freehand wise, and it's worth a go. Just have a go at it, guys. Yeah, you got to have control with your paint and stuff like that, but it's fun practicing it. And like I said, this is, you know, this is the kind of thing I put behind all of my especially things like Lest We Forget, you know, when you're doing clouds and sunsets and stuff like that in just black and white, you know, for soldiers, that real somber kind of feel. This is, you know, this is perfect for that. Don't go overkill, don't go overkill. See that dark spot there? I kind of felt like that could be like this, you know, in my head. I was like, oh yeah, that could be a dark cloud, because I've left that area dark. Let's use it and make it into a darker cloud. Looks cool. It almost looks like there's a sunset in the background, so you can, yeah, take the lightning out, you've got a perfect sunset. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, oh yeah, I will need to show you using a paintbrush. It's the same principle. Okay, so I've got a 000 paintbrush here, just a fine detail paintbrush. All I'm going to do is dip it in my transparent white. Get the end really thin. I haven't got my glasses on, so I'll try and run the line. Look, and just brighten it up. I'm at the wrong angle, to be honest. And I can't see because of my glasses. But there we go. Just run that line. Look how bright that is. And then all we do at the end, when we add the colour, I'm going to add some colour in this. So make sure you flick off the end, right? Like a dagger stroke with an airbrush, you just flick the end off. So I'm going to come down this way now. Let's take it from that bowl. I'll do something else that I tend to do occasionally. It's a little thick, because there we go. Look how much brighter that is. I want a bit thick there. Just down. I'm going to haze it out anyway. And again, flick off. I'm going to leave that one because it's in the background. I'm just going to haze over the top of the lightning. So we want to be approximately about 2 inches away. And first of all, I'm just going to haze down the whole line of the lightning. As I get to the end, flick off. There. Just so we got a glow around it. If you want to, you can pick up where it forks and just give a little bit of a glow. Just as if it's going like that. I'll do that again. Like that. You see those little sparks? Perfect. Okay. So I want to make sure I'm getting phthalo blue. Perfect phthalo blue. So I'm going to go in the darker areas of our sky. I'm just going to sort of bring it in. This is transparent, remember, so it'll go over the black lovely. Not going to go over our lightning area too much. Really going to darken up our dark cloud bit. There in that background, really get in that background. Might have to reiterate even, easy for me to say, our lightning. I'm just picking on the darker areas with the phthalo blue. And then I'm misting, just allowing it to mist, especially above the sea area. We want that really dark, really covered in phthalo blue. Alright. I'm going to go over our lightning. Our little glow on our lightning, I'm just going to follow the lightning down like we did with the white, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to reiterate the white. Beautiful colour, phthalo turquoise. Love it. So basically what we want to do is lose that sort of grey look. Get rid of that grey. Don't want grey, we want nice. Yeah. It's kind of changed the whole look of it, but now what we're going to do is go back in with our white and bring out the highlights. That's the one good thing with ETAC paint, we don't really get tip dry, which is fantastic. Okay, so we're going to hit our brightness area again. Look how much that pops against the phthalo and the turquoise. Beautiful. Now we'll just pick on the ones where we said it was coming forward. refrain from misting areas that I don't want to mist. So stay within your white areas in effect. Let's get our horizon line in, right the way along there. I'm a bit of an awkward angle for painting, to be honest. Don't want it too straight anyway, because it won't look real. So remember to shut your trigger off. Just pick on a couple now, don't pick on all of them. I'm getting paint as I just... Remember I said in the beginning my needle was too far forward, sorry, too far back, and I'm getting paint before I even... Yeah, I'm getting paint even before I start pulling the trigger back. Okay, and we don't want that in our lightning, so I definitely need to clean my airbrush. Let's just push that forward a little. Yeah, it's gone. Okay, so I'll reiterate that. If you're getting paint as soon as you push your trigger down, then that means your needle has gone back into the gun a bit. So undo the nut, release it, push it forward again, and then get rid of the excess paint that's left on the tip, and then you should be good to go again. So let's pick on these ones where we had the wave going up and then we come down again. Don't matter if you get a little bit of skating. Create little V's. There we go. Right, now I'm going to reiterate this because it's transparent, it will die out. Okay, just pick on that edge of that cloud there. Just bring forward some, send some back. You can use your paintbrush if you want to. I'm just going to go right in the middle of our lightning, thick at the top, and as it comes down it gets thinner and thinner. Got to skate then. So I've just, as soon as it starts to skate, literally push your trigger forward ever so slightly. I'm sorry if my hand's in the way, but it is really, really tight work. I mean, my needle is literally touching the surface and I'm controlling the paint with my trigger. Have a practice on a side sheet. There we go. I think I'm just going to continue that on down because I want to brighten that up. There we go. Quick example of lightning. Have fun with it. Go and give it a go. It's not that difficult. It just means you've got to get in really, really tight. You could do all the background 2-3 inches away and then come in with a paintbrush and just put your lightning in. You don't have to be in really tight. So maybe try, you know, if you're not confident in getting in really, really tight with your airbrush, then try just misting it and put the lightning in with a paintbrush. And then when you feel a bit more confident with the airbrush, then go in and have a go at lightning and really try and get those thin lines. Okay, but that's another one to have a go at.